The organization she's working with is taking her to court because of breach of contract. I know this is not a good way to start the year, but it is very important that you know about this to guide you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fajira. If you're joining me for the very first time, I'm so happy to have you all in my beautiful family. For my returning subscribers, I want to say thank you guys for always coming back to watch my videos. Thank you for joining with me through 2022. And here we are in 2023. I really do appreciate all your efforts. I really do appreciate you sharing my videos, liking my videos, leaving your comments. I really do appreciate it. God bless you. If you're new to this channel, I create content on how you can relocate to the UK, jobs with visa sponsorship in the UK immigration updates, scholarships, and like anything you can think about the UK. I share all the content on this channel. So if you're someone who is interested in that, do hit on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, so each time I upload a new video, you're going to be the very first person to see that video. So guys, let's quickly dive right into today's video. So this is not the video I was going to upload today, but because this is urgent and I think it's very important that I let my viewers, my subscribers know what is going on. So in terms of applying for jobs in the UK, this does not really apply to only those that are applying for care jobs, but if you're currently applying for a job in the UK, you have to be aware of this situation, so you don't get into the same situation with one of my subscribers that I think I have been communicating with her since November about this particular incident. She's sued to court, and I think she's going to be appearing in court on the 13th of January. So I thought I should share this with you. In as much as you're looking for a job in the UK, you have to look out for this, so you don't end up like this young lady that is going to appear in court on the 13th of January this year. So this lady got a healthcare job from her country, and she got this healthcare job in a known care organization, and it's one of the care organizations that I have posted on my channel. And for the purpose of data protection, I wouldn't want to mention the name of the care company she got this job with. So she got this job and she was given a visa to come to the UK for 5 years. She signed a contract for 5 years as a domiciliary care assistant. So you know what the domiciliary care is. You have to be driving from one home to the other to see clients. And in England, most care companies do not pay for the traveling time. But I know in Ireland, they just approve that the time you spend on the road traveling from one service user to the other, you get paid for it. But in England, that has not been put into their law. So if you're working as a domiciliary care, except the organization accepts to pay you for your traveling time. But the organization she got this job with, there was nothing like that on her contract. So now she's going to appear in court. And not only that she's going to appear in court, that is why I'm sharing this. I'm sharing this because this particular incident can discourage a lot of care homes from employing people from overseas. So a lot of people have been coming to me to ask me if the care visa is going to end on the 15th of February. Just an update about that before I go into today's video. The government has not officially said they are going to close that pathway on the 15th of February this year. Nothing has been said. NHS is still looking for more carers to come from overseas to work in the UK, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. So please, if you're worried about that, don't worry much, but just make sure you're applying for jobs and make sure you're doing everything you need to do for you to be able to get this job, hopefully before February. But trust me, we've not heard any updates. Nothing has changed about the care worker visa, so be rest assured that you can still apply for jobs that can sponsor your visa. So now this lady that got this job, she got it for 5 years and she was so excited. She even shared the testimony with me, and she moved to the UK, I think sometime in August or September. I can't really remember when, but I know it's between August and September, and she has been working with this care organization. So the care organization she's working with has taken her to court. She's going to appear in court on the 13th of January this year. This is not a very good way to start the year, I know, but I'm sharing this so that you can also look out for this, just in case you are able to get a job offer. Now, this particular thing that is taking her to court is on her contract, but because she didn't read it and she was so excited that she has gotten a care job. So what is taking her to court now is for a breach of contract, and this was already written on her agreement, which is her contract she signed and returned to the organization. She had signed a 5 years contract with this care organization for a position of a domiciliary care assistant from overseas, and they've done everything for her. I think they paid even for accommodation for her for a few weeks so that she can be able to sort herself after the few weeks when she arrived in the UK. Now, she went to put in her resignation. She had only worked for only 2-3 months with this organization. Now found another care home that is willing to sponsor her visa, but she will be going to a particular care home instead of having to be traveling, because we all know how demanding being a domiciliary carer is, especially when you're not driving. So when she found the care home that she wanted to be working with, she does not have to be traveling every day from one client to the other. So she sent in her resignation to this particular care organization. So when she sent in her resignation, she has not even worked even 6 months on her contract before sending her resignation later. Whereas in the contract, because she sent me the contract, and if she wants to resign before the 5 years, which is the end of her contract, she will have to pay a certain amount, thousands of pounds, to the organization before she can be allowed to go. Now, she has not even worked up to 6 months on her contract. Now, even if she wants to resign, she will have to pay a certain amount, but she even still have to work for some years before she can get to that point of paying that amount. But this lady just wants to leave the care organization because she found another care home that are happy to sponsor her when she's ready. So she put in her resignation. The care organization refused to honor it. So now the company has taken her to court, and she's going to appear in court on the 13th of January. And it's going to be either two things. I don't know. It's either she's going to be paying that money even if she has to leave them. I don't know what the judge is going to say, but I'm sure that this is not a situation you would want to put yourself in, which is why it is very important. Not only care organization, even if you're getting any job on tier 2 visa sponsorship or anything you're doing in the UK, even if is your house accommodation, anything you're doing, make sure you take your time to read the contract, because all of the things that this company is suing this lady to the courts for are things that are on the contract that she has signed and returned to the care organizations. When she told me about that, I said, but this thing you're telling me is on the contract you're showing me now, and did you read through the contract? She said, my dear, I didn't read because I was so excited about the job and I just wanted to leave my country. So I just signed immediately and I sent it back. So guys, please, if you are given a contract, even if it's not a care job, any job you have applied for in the UK, or anything you're doing in the UK, including your bank when opening an account, including your accommodation, please ensure you read the contract thoroughly. Read it from one to the end and understand it. Even if they come to you to say, have you finished, and you know that you have not finished with the contract, please tell them that you will need some time to go through all the contract, because most of these things that we get into trouble for are things that are clearly stated on our contract, but because sometimes we don't like reading, we just sign it. And especially when we are desperate, when you're desperate about something, you want to travel, you want to leave your country, you can make a lot of mistakes. As we step into this year, this is a year that I am very, very positive about. There are a lot of people will get this job. A lot of people will move to the UK and any other country of their choice. In as much as you're desperate about leaving your country to any part of the world, to any country you want to move to, please, it's a year you have to be very, very calm at the same time to go through everything you're doing, including your CV. You're going to read out the employer's rights and also the employee's rights, so that you will understand that this company is suing this girl now. They are not being mean to her, because come to think of it, she just came to the UK in, let's say, in August or September, and you have signed a long contract with this organization. You have signed this contract, you haven't even worked, even if it is 1 year on this contract, and now you found another care organization and you want to leave the organization. It's not fair on the company, because they have spent money to bring you over. Even if they have not spent anything, they have applied for your certificate of sponsorship, which is a different application from those who are in the UK. So guys, you have to be very careful when signing a contract. Yes, we are so excited that once you have a job that is willing to sponsor you for 5 years, it leads to indefinite leave to remain in the UK. We understand that, but in as much as you're happy about that this year, please, sometimes it is good to sign 3 years for you to test the company you're coming to work with. If you sign 3 years and you come in after 3 years or just before the 3 years, you see that this is not the company you want to stay with, you can now apply for another care organization. That 3 years will still count for you, instead of signing a 5 years contract and 2-3 months into the contract you're putting in your resignation. Please, this is, even I said it to her before even filming this video, which I think that as we get into this year, it is good that I make you aware that any contract you are giving, if you're fortunate to get a job, or you've gotten a job, or you're about to read the contract, please guys, go through it thoroughly, because everything that will take an employee to court is written on that contract. But that's because maybe the employee have not read it. So I'm going to take you to the government website so we can see what a job offer is. Even once you get a job offer, you're already kind of in a legal agreement with the organization. Job offers, you're right, once someone has accepted an unconditional job offer, they are in a legally binding contract of employment. However, a conditional job offer can be withdrawn if the person does not meet the employer's condition. For example, satisfactory references and health records. So if you have gotten a job and your references is not enough for the organization, they can withdraw it. But a job offer does not have to be in writing, and nor does the acceptance, but it's a good idea for employees to ask for and give something in writing. So this is when you get your job offer. Even if they tell you verbally that you've gotten the offer with us, it means that they have given you, but it is good from what the government website is saying. It's good for you to ask for something in writing. Employees should wait until they get an unconditional offer before handing in their notice. A conditional offer could fall through. So this means that before handing in your notice, if you're already working with organization, before you send in your notice that you have gotten a job that you're leaving there, make sure that you already have your unconditional offer, because with a conditional offer, something could go wrong, maybe your reference or anything, and they may withdraw it. If an employer withdraws their job offer, once someone has accepted an offer, they can only take action in certain situations. So let's go there and see what the situation is, as I will leave on the screen. So situation and actions. The applicant has evidence that the employer discriminated against them when withdrawing the offer. The applicant can take the employer to an employment tribunal. The employer has confirmed that the job offer was unconditional, or the applicant has met all conditions. So if you have gotten a job offer and they have told you that this is unconditional, you have met all requirements, and all of a sudden the organization says they don't want you again, what you can do as an applicant, the applicant can sue the employer for breach of contract, because there is a contract now that binds you and the company. They are giving you an unconditional offer, which means that there is a contract between the both of you. So if they just come up to say, sorry, we are withdrawing it, you can sue the employer to court. The same way with the employer to suing an applicant to court. If they come up to say, we are no more doing this job, we have signed contract for all, we have accepted, we are no more doing it, the employer can also take the applicant to court. So in a situation where the offer was conditional and the applicant did not meet the conditions, the applicant can't take any action. So for instance, if you've gotten a job offer and they've done your references and it didn't come back, they've done check and it didn't come back clear, the employer has a right to withdraw the offer, and you cannot do anything as an applicant. So if a new employee changes their minds, this is where I really want you to focus on, because this is what has happened to this lady that I have been in touch with. So if a new employee changes their mind, if someone accepts an unconditional offer and then changes their mind, the employer can make them work out any contractual elements of their notice and also sue them for breach of contract. So what has happened to this lady, I actually sent this link to her so that she can read it and know exactly what she has done. So because there has been a breach, she has signed a contract for 5 years, and now she has only worked only a few months out of the 5 years. So the employer, which is the company organization, they have the right to take her to court no matter how she does it, which is why it's good to be very, very careful when signing your contract. Read through it and ensure that you understand everything. Come to think of it, it's not really fair on the company, and this can further make them to stop recruiting from certain countries if we are not careful. Well, I know how demanding working as a domiciliary carer can be in the UK, which is why if you're watching this video, please, before you apply for a job, read everything about the job responsibility, read what you'll be doing. Don't just send in your application. If it's a job that you know you cannot do, please do not apply for it, so you don't get into the same situation. All employees have an employment contract with their employer. A contract is an agreement that states out the employee's employment conditions, rights, responsibilities, duties. These are called the terms of the contract. Employees and employers must stick to a contract until it ends. For example, by an employer or employee giving notice, or an employee being dismissed, or until the terms are changed, usually by agreement between employee and employer. So now, just as you can see on my screen, for a company to send you their contract, they want you to go through it and see if you agree to their terms and conditions, which I would always advise that, because you are in a hurry, you want to relocate to the UK, taking out time to read that contract is very, very important this year. Don't make the same mistake, so you don't sign things that you're not sure of. In fact, with this lady, I had to go through the contract to see that everything she's been taken to court for, things that are written on her contract, but because she didn't know about it, she didn't even read through it. Accepting a contract, as soon as someone accepts a job offer, they have a contract with their employer. An employment contract does not have to be written down. But in this case, a lot of companies are recruiting from overseas, so most of the employment contracts are written down for you to read and also sign. And in most cases, you also add it to your visa application. So this is clear. When I mean it's clear, for me, the organization has not done anything wrong from when I started speaking with her. Asked her to send me the contract for me to read, and also asked her to send me the email she got from her company. Everything I saw is what is on her contract, and now she is the one breaching the contract, which means that the employer, which is the organization, they have the right to sue her to court from what we have read. So guys, please, as we journey through this year and as we search for jobs that will bring us to the UK, this is not only about care job. This is not only if you're overseas. Even if you're in the UK, even if you're in any part of the world, you're given a contract or you're given anything to read, please take your time and go through it before putting down your signature, because once you put down your signature, that's to say you have agreed to the terms and conditions. Even some apps that will download on our phones, before you download it, sometimes they send you a long agreement that please tick if you agree. In most cases, even for me, I just tick even without reading it. But this is an app, this is not a job. I won't get a job and I will not read through the contract. No matter how tiny the contract is written, no matter how tiny, please spend time and go through it, so you don't get into the same problem this lady has gotten into. I'm not saying the court will favor her or the court will not favor her. Definitely I'm going to get the feedback once she's back from the court on the 13th of January. But as it stands now, I thought I should share this with you, so that when you're applying for jobs, if you're not somebody that can withstand the domiciliary care, please don't apply for it. You can apply for a living care, you can apply for a care assistant, support worker. You can just go to a particular home to take care of a particular group of elderly people or a particular care home. You're not moving about, you can apply for that. So don't force yourself to apply for things you know you cannot do, because you may get here. Yeah, it's good to relocate to the UK, but at the same time, it's hard. It's hard as well to do the job that has brought you if you're not someone that have made up his or her mind from the inside that no matter what, you're going to do this job. To be honest, people that have gotten back to me a lot that they are tired, they want to go back there, in fact they are looking for other jobs, are people that are doing domiciliary care. So please be careful when applying for jobs. It's good to apply, go for interview, you're excited. Even in your excitement, try and read out the agreement, read out the contract once you're able to secure one job. Because if you don't do that and you get here and you start having this problem, I'm sure even if you finally go to the court may say, okay, go and work with the organization, or this is the amount you have to pay. Imagine paying thousands of pounds for a year. That money would have been used for other things. So guys, I thought I should share this with you so that you know how to prepare yourself. You know what to look out for once you get your job contract. Not only being a carer, any other job you're signing up with, even when you're going for your accommodation as well. There is this contract that comes with accommodation. I would say I was even a victim of it 12 years ago when I came as a student, because we didn't read through it properly and we ended up paying some money at the end of the day because we didn't read the contract properly. So please, there is law and their law stands. So don't just come to the UK and think that there are things you will do and you will just get away with it. Provided you have put down your signature, it means that you have agreed to whatever you're doing. So you just have to be very careful this year. And also, I believe and I know that a lot of you will get jobs in the UK, but once you get your job, take time to read your contract properly and sign if you're happy with it. If you're not happy, if you have any question, you can always email to find out. Like even companies in the UK, once they send you an agreement, they will ask you if you have any question. You can ask. It's flexible. You can ask questions. You can email. So don't be scared of doing that. If there's anything you don't understand on your contract, please email the organization. They will get back to you with the feedback before you sign any contract for job or for anything you're doing in the UK. So guys, we've actually come to the end of this video, and I hope you find this video helpful. And if you do share with your friends and loved ones, because I know this video is going to help one or two people, especially those who are preparing to travel overseas. Share with them, and also like and subscribe and join our beautiful family if you're yet to do that. So thank you for watching, and see you right in my next video. Bye bye for now.